Hello, it is Sunday, fun day, the last day of June 30th, 2019. Steve Sipress here, coming to you live and in living color from my pool up in the mountains in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. Another scorcher today. The forecast was for 110, so we possibly hit the 110 mark, I think, for about the third day in a row, and I see the forecast is for another few days in a row. That's called summer down here in sunny Phoenix, Scottsdale area of Arizona. Anyway, fantastic day today of just Sunday fun day, relaxing. Although in the middle of just hanging out in the pool and shooting some hoops on my pool hoop. There it is behind me. I actually decided to cross a few things off of the old honey-do list and made a trip to the Home Depot. So we've done a whole bunch of things here today. And while I was at the Home Depot, I actually got a call from one of my favorite clients, one of my favorite people on earth. I love all my clients. And really exciting because it is not just one but two new businesses that we are in the midst of launching. With one client of mine and one with two clients of mine. And so we are extremely excited, and more details are to follow soon as a launch. One of them is launching this week, and the other one we've already registered a couple of things and gotten a few behind the scenes things in the works, but we're not putting it out there to the public yet for the time being, but both of those things are exciting anyway. So normally on Sunday Fun Day, I just kind of check in and say hello, but I just have to share a great experience I had yesterday with a door-to-door salesman, reminiscent of my 9 years in the door-to-door sales world. 13 months, first 13 months of which I was in the field, out there selling myself 6 days a week, rain or shine, snow, heat, getting thrown out. Told I was a loser, get a real job, no soliciting, we shoot every third salesman, the second one just left, and all that kind of crap. So went through that, developed a really, really thick skin, and then I spent about the next 8 years managing, hiring, interviewing, training, managing salespeople, support people, management people for locations all over the country, but concentrating mostly up and down the East Coast. Had a blast, and while I don't suggest anybody voluntarily go do door-to-door sales, it is, and most successful people in business will let you know that is the best possible experience. Nose to nose, toes to toes selling, and the door-to-door variety with no appointments really toughens people up. Gets you really on your game for hitting goals and perseverance and sticking with things and getting things done, and all those encounters with all those different people, especially for me traveling all around the country to do it, was something I really needed at the time, because I was terrible when I first started, and something that has helped me ever since to help people build their businesses and improve their sales, their marketing, their advertising, which, by the way, before I forget, if you want my help, even if you do door-to-door sales or any kind of cold calling at all, head over to helpfromsteve.com, or if you want any of the principles I'm about to talk about and you want help with implementing them in your business, because I hear from a lot of people, oh yeah, that doesn't apply to me, and my business isn't like that, Steve, and I'll just tune out of this one. Like, I'm here to tell you that these are universal lessons just because they came from a door-to-door salesperson. In fact, as I just said, I believe that's the best place to get them. So this guy knocks on the door yesterday. My beautiful wife Michelle's like, who's knocking on the door? And so she also knows that if it is indeed a door-to-door salesperson, because of my 9 years in the industry, basically I buy anything from anybody as long as they don't screw it up. So if you knock on my door, you got the guts and the sense to knock on my door and you're doing door-to-door sales, it's your sale to lose. All you can do is screw it up. At which point I at least give you some lessons and help you out. But in this case, this guy was phenomenal. He was fantastic from start to finish. The knock on the door comes, and it's a guy from a pest control service. Now, around here, especially where we live, up in the mountains, pretty much in the middle of nowhere, every single critter in the desert there is comes by our house. So my beautiful wife Michelle found a big, like 5-inch scorpion hanging out in our garage today while we were doing some cleanup and yard work and landscaping and all that kind of stuff. By the way, put up a new umbrella. Check this thing out. Is this thing cool or what? Where is it? Nope, that's another. There it is. Check that thing out. A 15-foot umbrella. How cool is that? That's kind of a cool umbrella. We like that. So now we have 5 red umbrellas out here. Because you do not want to be just hanging out in the sun in this area. As you can see, I got the sunglasses. I got the sun hat, the Arctic hat that I bought from a long-form direct response TV commercial that you might have seen. And if you're not using direct response, by the way, you're just kind of putting messages out there without making offers and giving people a reason to take the next step with you, you're making a humongous mistake. You are making a mistake that probably 80 to 90% of business owners make, by the way, and coincidentally, 80 to 90% of businesses go out of business in the first 5 years because you're doing marketing and advertising all wrong if you're not making an offer. I mean, if that commercial just said, hey, the hat is great, and go to your nearest store and get one, probably never would have happened. But since they said, here's the number to call, or here's the website to go to, or wherever it was, I went, checked it out, made the purchase. They get money, I get hats. I got 3 of them. One for me, one for my beautiful wife Michelle, and one for the world's greatest mom-in-law, my fantastic mother-in-law Kathy, who was here earlier today, and then she took off and went home when it got to be the most heinous part of the day around 2 o'clock. And the temps hit in the 110s, and the pool even heats up to about 90, and it's siesta time. But now, it's almost 7 o'clock here in West Coast time. Just spectacular time to be hanging out in the pool with you anyway. So, doorbell rings. My beautiful wife Michelle is like, who the heck is knocking on the door? Guy comes and says, I'm from this pest control company, and around here you just absolutely have to have them. I was talking about that scorpion we found today, and there are tarantulas, black widows, in addition to all the regular critters like the coyotes and the javelinas, big wild boars that come by. And man, they're impervious to human beings. They don't care about anything. You can't scare them off. You can't shine bright lights in their eyes. They don't give a crap. They just keep eating your plants. We live right next to a big wash right here on the side. You probably can't see it in the video. I'll show it to you some other day when I'm out of the pool. But every single critter comes out of that thing every night. Every snake, every critter, every varmint. So anyway, I'm like, well, our pest control guy was just here like last week, and he's like, who do you use? So there's lesson number 1. Great question. You want to ask, you want to find out, you want to do your research, even if you just ask the person straight out, who are you using? So now he knows their pricing, knows how long they've been around, he knows what kind of service they provide, he knows, since he's read all the online reviews about all the other companies in the area, because he's smart, he knows what people like about them, what people don't like about them, so he's prepared now. So the first thing I said was, gee, I don't know. I know the guy's name, but I don't remember the company. My beautiful wife Michelle deals with the whole thing. Then a few minutes later, I remembered that when I checked the online banking and I go down the list of all the bills and stuff, I see the name of the company. I'm like, I remember the name of the company. He's like, right. And how much are you paying? So don't be afraid to ask. How much you're paying, what's the service, what is included, so that you can... First of all, if you didn't think you can beat it, he would just be honest and say like, oh, you're with them? Oh, then you made a great decision and good luck, and stick with them. But since he knew he had a superior, irresistible offer to make to me, he now knew he was home free. And all he had to do was explain it and be a cool person and be a nice guy, and he was. So basically what happened was I was like, yeah, I think we're paying, I think $40 a month. It's $480 a year. And he was just, it comes every month. And he's like, yeah, but see, we are an agricultural company. Like, I know what that means. So there's another lesson. We will tend to take for granted that we know everything about our industry, but your prospect, understand that they know little to nothing, likely, about your industry. So to me, all bug guys are the same. How do I know? Bug guys are the same. And due to poor marketing and advertising and sales and positioning of all the bug companies around, they have not educated me at all about their industry, so I just think they're all the same. And when somebody thinks everything's the same, that's what's known as being a commodity, and then it just defaults to price. So if you're having that situation, first of all, you definitely want to go over to helpfromsteve.com, because I will help you break out of being looked at as just another, whatever it is you do, being a commodity. Because that's the worst thing. Then it defaults to price, and then it's a race to see who can go out of business faster when you and your competitors keep lowering your prices to compete with the other one until you're both lowering it so much you're both making no money and you go out of business. So cut that out. Instead, you need to take some steps to position yourself as not a commodity and break out of that, which is not actually the topic of today's video. I've talked about that in the past. I'll talk about it again, and you can just save yourself a lot of time for searching for my videos or articles about it. Just go to helpfromsteve.com and I'll help you out. So again, it just defaulted to price. I'm like, bug guy, $40, comes once a month. That's what they all do. He says, yeah, not us. See, here's the difference. We're an agricultural company. So we have a license. He can only spray within 5 feet of the home. 3 feet, 5 feet, whatever it is. Whatever he says. He goes, we can treat your entire property. I'm like, oh, tell me more. That just sounded smart. And he goes, so we will treat every bush, every rock. There's not grass here, by the way, in the Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona area, in case you're from somewhere around the world. I didn't realize till I moved here, like, landscapers rake rocks and blow leaves. It's pretty much what they do. They do not, there's not a lot of lawn mowing. It's very rare, or people have a little patch of grass. So there's a lot of rocks here. Well, they treat all the plants. We got a lot of plants. If you can see behind me, we got a whole bunch of stuff in the backyard here. We got a big front area. And then we got the wash. And so when he said we treat the whole property, my eyes lit up. Because I was like, man, I would love that someone treats the whole area right up to the edge of that wash where the critters come out. He goes, yeah, and we have a nerve agent. So it's not the kill on contact stuff, which I know our current, or past now, bug guy that we've had the last two places we lived, talked about having this kill on contact and how tough it was to kill scorpions because they got their legs prop them up in the air and they walk like right over the stuff. And so they don't eat it because they don't eat often. And so they're tough to kill. This guy says, yeah, we use a nerve agent. And so it gets into their nervous system and they just die. They turn around. They don't come in. Whatever he was saying. But I like the idea. It just makes sense, doesn't it? That he's treating the whole property so long before these critters ever come up to our house. Because this time of year, when it starts getting hot, is when the scorpions and the other critters start coming into garages and such because they're looking to cool off. And they also hang out around the rim of pools. Oh, speaking of the critter, there's a bee right there. Hello, Mr. Bee. Say hello. You're on Facebook Live. Can you see him? I'm having trouble seeing in the video. Oh, there he is. I didn't have the camera on him. Oh, Mr. B. Anyway, we got a lot of flowers here, so I'm sure the bee is helping out with the flowers. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, treating the whole property. So I liked that right away. So right away when he says we're an agricultural company, he's differentiating his company, his service, from every other bug guy around. There's another lesson. That's what you want to do. That's one way to make an irresistible offer. That's the O in the WOW strategy. The middle letter O stands for the irresistible offer that you make. Because like I said about this hat, you never want to put out an ad or any kind of sales message at all without making an offer. Just get your name out there. Don't spend lots of money on a logo and all that BS advice you get from people. Cut that out. Make offers. Offer people your stuff. Offer people your book. Offer people a free video series. Offer them something so they take this next step with you. It doesn't have to necessarily be buying, but at least they contact you. Anyway, so right away he's differentiating himself from everybody. And then he says, so here's how it works. We also only come quarterly instead of monthly. So that's less hassle for you guys. And I'm thinking that's another great way to go. Great pitch. Great differentiating point there. That we don't have to hassle with, got to be home today between 2 and 4, the bug guy's coming. And then or if I'm here and I'm working, got to go up to the door and say hello to the guy. And I got to remember what critters my beautiful wife Michelle told me. There are ants around the pool, or there's a scorpion in the garage, or whatever the heck's going on. You got to tell them. This guy says, you're going to tell us nothing because you're not going to find anything. So this is the way we work. We do a first treatment, a complete flush, and a something and a whatever. And he goes right up to our roof and the wooden, underpinnings of the roof there. And he's like, see those spider webs up there? We'll take care of all those. All those will go away. No more spiders. We'll get rid of all of them. We're going to flush all your columns. Your columns have some kind of drainage that I never knew of, where the water comes down when the monsoon season hits, which is coming in a couple of weeks. Normally it's here now, but they say it's not coming until after July 4th this year. And torrential rains will come pouring down in an hour, like 2 inches of rain sometimes. And so he's like, yeah, these homes are built where it drains down the gutter. Well, the bugs love to go up there and hang out in there. So we flushed that whole thing. I'm like, gee, I'm sure that's never been done. So he's differentiating himself like crazy, and all he's got me thinking is, wow, this got to be real expensive. Because there's another tip right there. You pitch your thing really well, people are going to think, wow, this must be expensive, because you are just making it sound like the greatest thing there is in your industry. That's what you want to do. Not sound like just another one and then compete on price. Stop doing that. Back to the story. So he says the first time we come, we do a flush. Then 30 days later, we come and we do the first treatment. And then we come every 90 days. So it's only 4 times a year. And in between, we guarantee you never see anything. If you do, you just call us, we come out for free. If you ever see scorpion, a black widow, anything crawling around, whatever, ants, anything at all, you just won't see it. But if you do, we'll come out for free. I'm like, wow. Oh, another thing he had said, the initial thing he said was, which a lot of these guys will do door to door, and I like to help all my contractor clients that do home contracting, landscapers, heating and air, plumbing, roofing, all that kind of stuff, to have your guys do this. Go knock on a few doors. You can do 10 doors. If you go to the 2 doors to the right, you cross the street, you go 5 doors down, cross the street again, you got 3 doors, and you're back at the original doors. Now you've hit 9 or 10 doors. And you said, hey, I'm working with the Joneses over here, blah, 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 and this is what we do, and a blah, blah, blah. And so that was the start of his pitch, is if I can get a whole bunch of your neighbors all on board, because I was working with somebody over here, and they talked about having a bunch of scorpions, and if I can treat a whole bunch of houses in the area here, that just makes sense, because all I do, if I treat his one, I chase the scorpions out to the other homes. So I want to treat a whole bunch of homes out here. So it just makes sense to get rid of all of them. So that's one of the first things he said. That was really smart. So talk about all the other, something we definitely did in door-to-door sales. We talked about all the other people that were buying in the area. So Joe in the auto repair shop, Mary 3 doors down, if we're doing residential, whatever it was, and they likely know each other, or at least they would say like, no, I don't know the guy in that auto repair shop, but he knows there's an auto repair shop 3 doors down. I'm like, yeah, he bought 4 of these, and she bought 2 of them, and he got 6 of them, and that's called social proof through other people. So there's demonstrable proof. When you make a demonstration, you say, watch me clean your carpets right now with my vacuum. That's a demonstration, but that's proof. But social proof is when you have testimonials. or you give names of other people that are bought. So in this case, he didn't give a name, but he did say one of your neighbors. So that got my attention, and that just made sense that he would want to sign up some other neighbors. And he said, if we do, and I can get a whole bunch on the same route, I can cut you a deal. So I can lower the prices. I don't normally do it, but if I can get a bunch of people in this area, then I can have my guy do a whole route, and that will save trip time and travel time, and therefore I can cut the rates. That just makes sense. That's called reason why. So when you're making an irresistible offer, you want to use reason why. Copy. Reason why scripted. Reason why talk. Okay, so you might say, hey, well, you'll see car dealers do this all the time, mattress store, they do holidays, right? Oh, it's President's Day sale, it's a pre-President's Day sale, then it's a post-President's Day sale, then it's a spring is coming sale, and it's a St. Patrick's Day sale, and it's a April Fool's Day sale, and it's a tax day sale, and it's a spring sale, and it's a Mayflowers sale, and it's a Memorial Day sale, and it's a Mother's Day sale, it's a post-Mother's Day, it's a pre-Mother's Day. They're giving a reason why. We're cutting the prices like crazy because it's Mother's Day. So you can do things, you can make up your own holidays. You can go look up actual holidays. You can find websites like brownielocks.com and other websites. You can find the obscure, crazy holidays. Like you'll see a lot of talk shows do on TV. They got to fill up an hour or 2 or 3 in the morning, Today's Show or whatever, and they'll say, hey, it's National Sausage Week, so we have a guy barbecuing sausages here. Or it's International Bring Your Pet to Work Day, so here's my doggy. So all those crazy holidays, you can use them too. It gives you a reason why to give a discount. So it's National Elvis Presley Day, and I love Elvis, and I love the King. So, I'm giving, Elvis would have been, 82 today. So for only $82, you can have our service that's normally $129 or whatever. So you give a reason why, helps people believe why you're giving a discount, so they're not skeptical and go, otherwise you give a discount, people are likely to ask what's wrong with it. Why does your product suck so bad that you got to give a discount? If you give a good reason why, actually, you not only overcome the skepticism that your product or service must suck if you're giving a discount, but you can tell people our service is so good, that's why we're giving a discount. So if we're giving it to everyone in the area, because everyone loves what we do, and we're different than every other bug guy, and everyone's getting rid of their regular bug guy and going with us. That's how good we are, and that's why we're able to give a discount. So you turn it right on its ear, and I don't ask why the discount. And I'm not skeptical about, do you guys suck? Like, did you guys poison someone at your last thing? Why do you got to give a discount? No, he gave me lots of reasons why he's giving a discount. Right? Makes sense. Another good lesson. So I love the fact that they are agricultural. They have this agricultural, I can treat the whole property, I'm like, but I'm asking questions. I love to put my bird feeder outside of my office. We got one in the back here on the tree over here, behind the hoop. I don't know if, there it is. You can see it up in the air right there. And is that a beautiful flag of shells right under the bird feeder right now? In fact, there it is. So we like to fill the bird feeder and watch the birdies out here. So I'm like, what will this do to the birds? Yep, nope. Won't hurt the birds at all. Birds, little dogs, humans, won't hurt them. It's just for the creepy, crawly critters and the bugs or whatever. Okay, whatever. I don't understand why. I'm sure if I asked why, he would explain it. But okay, it sounds good. And I love the quarterly thing instead of the monthly thing. And then he got to the pricing. And he said, yeah, now the first service, he said, you're paying $40 a month. Well, ours is $99 per quarter. Or it's generally he said it's $120 a quarter. I think we're $120 a quarter, so we're the same rate. I said, okay, that's good. So you're better with the same price. Love it. Then he said, our initial service is $249 for the flush. And I'm like, now suddenly, wait a minute. Now let me do the math here. We're doing $40 a month, that's $480 a year. You're doing $250 plus $480. So that's more. A whole couple, $250 more. Is it really worth it? I started to think, is it really worth it now? I like everything sounds great, but is it worth it? He goes, but hang on. I told you I can cut down on the pricing because I'm signing up a bunch of homes in the area. Now, whether this is true or not, this is a smart thing to say. We might have been the first door he knocked on. Later on, I got a hint that he was. when we got to the contract part, which he's doing right on an iPad, which was also very smart, and he says, now what's the address here? And I'm like, this is the number, and this is the street. And he's like, how do you spell it? And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, because we live in a long street. It's like half a mile or so. There's got to be 100 homes on this street. Like, if he really was coming up the street and he really was working with neighbors and really signing, he wouldn't ask, how do you spell the name of the street? Not to mention that it's a fairly common word, although people misspell it all the time. So that was my first tip, that I had a lot of respect for the guy. That even though now clearly he's not signing up lots of people up the street, and I might have been the first house in the neighborhood that someone was home or opened the door or willing to talk to him, that he knocked on, because those are some of the issues with door-to-door sales, as you probably know. Maybe you never open the door for people, or you chase them away, or you call the cops when they come, or some other scummy thing to do. Guy's working hard. He's in door-to-door sales. You don't want to listen to what he said, don't listen. Don't open the door, whatever. But don't be nasty and calling the cops and no soliciting. I mean, you can if you want. It's free country, but like, come on now. Those people are asses. They're likely part of the 90% that don't own businesses, because every business owner knows we're in sales. So why would we treat another salesperson like that? Only the 90% that ironically depend on salespeople to get paid, because even if they're not in sales, if there are no sales, nobody gets paid. If there are no business owners, nobody has a job. So, and yet these people will crap on business owners and door-to-door salespeople of any kind. Right? They want stuff to go to a spam folder. They call our direct mail junk mail. They don't like when we call them telemarketing. They don't like that. They call that, what do they call telemarketing? I don't know. They call it, they want to get on the do not call list. Like, anyway, I digress. So, guy says, yeah, here's the pricing. So normally $249 for the first thing, and then $120 a month. I'm going to do $99 a month. So I'm like, whoa, that's good. Instead of the $40, it's $33. That's a good deal, but you still got that $250 for the first visit. He goes, yeah, we're going to do that first visit for only $49. I'm like, sold. Done deal. So you're better, and you are higher quality. You got a guarantee. This guy, I understand it. When my beautiful wife Michelle tells me, remember when the guy comes to tell him we saw ants by the pool or scorpion in the garage or whatever, like, we wait till he comes. This guy's like, oh, no. You see anything, you call us. We're out there right away. So the service is better. The treating the whole property is better than just, he goes, yeah, they just spray. I know what they're spraying. They're spraying some kind of chemical around, and we have better stuff, and we cover the whole area. We'll also do the inside, and we'll do around the outside. We'll do the whole same thing as them, but we'll also do up here on the roof. We'll treat the whole property, all the bushes, all the trees, all the shrub. I'm like, oh, this is no-brainer. All around the pool, which this guy doesn't do. And they can't, by law, from what he's telling me, that they can only do within a few feet of the house. This guy can. So he's got a better service. He's coming less often, so it's less of a hassle for us. He's got a better guarantee. Any single critter you ever see, call us. We're coming right out. So we have peace of mind. And now he's even got better pricing. So now instead of $480 a year, we're doing $400 a year, $99 a quarter, and $49 for the first one. So the first year is $450. Every year after, $400. That's still cheaper than $480. And then I say, hang on, I got to get my beautiful wife Michelle, because she's the one who deals with all this stuff, and she will know what critters are where and what's going on, and you'll know what to tell your guy, because he's now filling out things to when the technician comes on Wednesday between 2 and 4 or whatever, which, by the way, is the day before a holiday. And he's still coming on Wednesday afternoon on July 3rd. Because we said Wednesday was a good day. Or he said, can you do Wednesday? Because that's when I'm in this area or whatever. And you want morning or afternoon? He said afternoon. And first, he said, I said, what's the latest? He said between 4 and 6. And I said, I'm not making a guy come out here between 4 and 6 on July 3rd. There's got to be fireworks going on, and it's, people don't want to be working from 4 to 6, so let's give the guy a break. And he's like, oh, well, if he's not here, he's going to be somewhere else, because I'm signing up all your neighbors, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, still. I personally am going to give him a break. So don't tell me if he's going somewhere after, although I ask him. Because I always talk to the guys that come by. They're guys. I love talking to them. I love people. Anyway, so now they got a better price. $49 for the first thing, and then $99 every quarter. It's a better price. And then when I get my beautiful wife Michelle, I said the only thing is I gotta ask my beautiful wife Michelle because she really likes our guy, and hopefully she's not going to be irrational about this and go like, but I like our guy. And I was like, honey, blah blah blah. This guy, they treat the whole product. She's like, oh, that's great. And they'll do this and that. And get spider webs out. She goes, oh, that's great. And I said, yeah, but I know you like the guy. She goes, so what? Who cares? So that was awesome. That was great. So I underestimated my beautiful wife Michelle. And by the way, there's another lesson for you, that you might think that your customers, clients, patients, members are loyal to you. But today there's less loyalty than there's ever been. And it's mainly thanks to technology. Now that people have in the palm of their hands 24/7 access to look up anybody, anywhere, anytime, anything, read every review of everybody. People know they have more options than ever. People are less, what did I say? Loyal. Less loyal. Oh, it's the end of a long day here of hanging out in the sun. My brain is turning to mush. So I'll end this soon. But people are less loyal than ever. So understand, you've got to continue to over-deliver to people and serve them fantastically. But this guy's off to a good start. He says another thing is we're the 7th largest pest service in the country. We're in 27 states. And we're the fastest growing because of this and that. And so, all this overcoming, all this skepticism of who are you and is this something that's new and unproven and untested. He goes, no. And he starts telling me the story. We started in Salt Lake and then we went to Colorado and blah, blah, blah. And now we're here and this and that and whatever. And I said, yeah, what if we move? He goes, look, if you move, and you move with this, because he goes, but one thing, because we have no contract. I said, honey, do we have a contract with our guy? He said, people generally don't have a contract with the bug guy. I said, yeah, but my beautiful wife Michelle would know. And I asked her, and she said, nope, we don't. And he said, but with me, I am going to, make you agree to stay for a year because I'm discounting this first service all the way down, and I can't just have people do that and then quit. I said, I understand, but, what if we move? He said, well, if you move, of course, we just go with you. And this was another great thing he said. He goes, if you move to an area that we're not in, that's my fault, not yours, and you're out of the contract. What a great thing to say. I mean, this guy was just a great guy, knew his stuff, and knew the right phrasing of saying things. And so that's what is known as risk reversal. He's taking the risk. If you move to an area that we're not in, we lose. So no risk to me, and the guarantee is no risk to me. Everything's guaranteed. If there's ever a problem, we call them. They're out right away. So better pricing, better guarantee, better quality service. Remains to be seen, but if it is, instead of I did tell him though, I said, I like dealing with small local companies. I'm a small business guy, small business consultant, and I like dealing with small companies. He said, well, the guy will be here will be a local franchisee, small business owner in the area. I'll take that. I don't want to deal with a big company. I want to deal with a small business. Just what I believe. And it's not just, I don't do that to be stupid. It's not that I'll pay more and get worse service to be with a smaller company. I believe that smaller businesses will treat their people better. Same as government. Local government is much better than federal government and light years better than global government, which some people are in favor of. This whole European, whatever it's called, that they're doing the Brexit from with that whole Euro thing, like that's a disaster. And so, and even all these globalists with like, we want to join with all the other countries and the whatever and all that crap, we were going to continue down that road until Trump came along and said, whoa, what are you doing? Like, I'm not the president of the world, okay? How about a president of the U.S.? How about somebody to clean up all the crap that we've been mistreated for years? And but all these globalists keep wanting to give everything. Let's give free everything to everyone from all around the world. How dumb is that? Well, it's the same thing here. Small business is going to pay more attention and treat you better than big impersonal companies are. So I bank at a small local bank. I like to work with small local companies. And I wish the cable company, there was a small local cable company, but there's not, of course. That's a monopoly. And I digress. Anyway, so a lot of great things. He had all the right answers. He's a great guy. So I walked him around the inside of the place. We showed him around the garage where there's issues. Walked him all around the back. He was taking notes. What's going on? He said the guy will be here Wednesday. He'll take care of everything. And so lower price, better service. I'm just so happy, and I liked the guy, and I know there were other things about it that I liked. And I liked most of all that he came and knocked on the door, because my initial thought when he said, "Hey, I'm working with so and so in the area," I'm like, "Okay, here we go." He's gonna pitch something we don't need or whatever. And bug guy, we have a bug guy, but he didn't bat an eye, he didn't flinch. He said, "No, of course you do. Everyone around here does. But here's why people are signing up with me. Let me just tell you, you have a couple of minutes, I'll tell you why people are signing, or whatever." And again, I'm partial to door-to-door salespeople. Of course, I'm going to listen to the guy. Second of all, I'm smart, so I'm going to listen to the guy. And salespeople that call, salespeople that visit, salespeople that email me, that mail me, so I'm going to listen because I have a brain. And I listen to opportunities. There's another lesson there. If you shut yourself off and you just go, "Oh, I don't buy from door to door, or I don't buy from cold callers, or I don't buy from direct mail, or I don't buy on the internet," what are you doing? Like, open your brain, open your mind, and be smart and do your research. And even if you don't buy, at least I would have learned the difference between one bug guy or another, or I would have learned something about sales from seeing how he would do sales. So I got 10 minutes because I don't consider it that I'm getting pitched and it's bothering me. I consider it free sales education for me. Same thing with junk mail. I don't pay for it. It's free marketing education. I can see what's good and what's bad and what's ugly about it. I can see what works, what doesn't work, because I got an idea. Even if I didn't know, wasn't a world's expert, one of the top experts in direct mail anywhere in the world, I would at least know what got me close to buying or buying, which, by the way, I'll be talking all about tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday, when I reach into my mailbox and I teach you from a direct mail piece that landed in my mailbox. But to finish up today, we made the purchase. We're totally happy so far. Let's see what happens on Wednesday and further on. The guy really knew his stuff, had a great attitude, great pitch, and differentiated the product to service. And we feel extremely confident, comfortable. Oh yeah, and the crowning glory was when this afternoon, when I come back from the Home Depot, my beautiful Michelle's like, "Honey, when I went to get this bucket out of the garage to put the weeds in that we're cleaning up from around the back here, man, this big scorpion was under there." Like, whoa, wait a minute. I just said our guy was here like a week ago. So a week after our former bug guy was here, there's a big old scorpion in the garage, and that's just the one we could see. I know there's more in there because we got tons of stuff. I got my whole business storage, boxes of stuff in there, and scorpions love boxes. They love cardboard boxes to crawl in, spaces to crawl into. They like that when it's to come out of the heat. So that was ironic. Like, instead of waiting 3 weeks for the guy to come back and then tell him how there was a scorpion and he sprays the stuff again, this guy's coming on Wednesday, flush everything out. And number two, if that ever happened, we would call this guy and they'd come right out and do something. So we're very happy. Oh, and the final thing I will mention is when I said to my beautiful wife, Michelle, we're using this company now, and they're like $40 a month, because I'm the math guy in the home, and my beautiful wife, Michelle, is the people person in the home. So I was like, "Honey, even the price is better because we're paying $40 a month now, right?" And she was like, "No, we're paying $50. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, how it's much better." So that's $600 a year. So instead of $600 a year, we're paying $400 a year, $450 for the first year. No brainer. It was an automatic, irresistible offer, automatic yes. So it didn't even have to be a better price. They had a much better service, better guarantee, better quality. They were going to cover up to the roof, all over the property. The other guys just spraying around the bottom. They have a guarantee. They only, less hassle. They come quarterly instead of monthly. And then he said that's also how we can have a lower rate. My guy only has to come every quarter. So we save money on sending guys out and sending guys around. So That he used that reason why with the irresistible offer. But on the cherry and the icing on the cake was that the price is even significantly lower, from $600 to $400 a year. Come on now. It's a 33% decrease in the price. So no-brainer. Sale was made, open and shut case. I signed with my finger on the iPad. Then he said, now go check your email and click on a link and check some boxes and accept this and that and this and that and the terms and the whatever, and like we're off and running. And so I fired up my laptop. Wasn't working yesterday, but I fired up the old laptop just to get the email from him, and we're off to the races. So, and then I said, on Sunday Fun Day, I got to share this kind of stuff with my audience. Facebook, unfortunately, I saw a bunch of likes come by, but Facebook, for some reason, it happens once in a while. I don't know why, but they're not showing me who's here today, and I don't see any questions, comments, concerns. It truly bugs me. No pun intended, but I guess I just used the word bugs in a video about the bug guy. But I will afterwards answer all your questions if you have any, and if you have specific questions and want specific help with any of this stuff, any of these lessons that can be learned from people that are doing door-to-door, face-to-face, nose-to-nose, toes-to-toes, down and dirty selling. I guess that's where the lessons are learned. Then you go to helpfromsteve.com, and I will help you to improve the sales in your business. If you want, I'll share with you a little bit. I'm not going to spend all day on the phone with you for when you go to helpfromsteve.com. I reserve that for my clients, but I will help you, because ideally you want to put it into a system, because then money's coming in, you have X number of clients coming in, you have peace of mind, you can scale, you can expand, you can grow, you can open new locations, you can go into 27 states like this company, you can have an army of door-to-door salespeople going around in 27 states, you can sell franchises all over, you can do all kinds of great stuff. Okay, everyone started with one location. Sam Walton had one location of Walmart, right? Then he became the richest guy in the world. A lot of steps in between. But everyone starts with one business. So if you want help and you have big visions and you want to grow and you want to scale, I can help you do that. Go to helpfromsteve.com. If you want to grow slow or not at all, or just survive or hang in there, don't go to helpfromsteve.com. You can do that all on your own, or somebody else will help you. It's not exciting to me. I like working with people that want to 5, 10, 15, 20 times their income, massively scale their businesses, and it's easier and simpler than you think. There's a lot of work involved, but it's still easier than you think. You just got to do the right things, and I got a lot of right things to help you with. So helpfromsteve.com will help you out. I will also be back here tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday, and I'll help you out with some examples out of a piece I pull out of my mailbox, and I will share it with you tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of whatever's left of your weekend, wherever you are in the world. And thank you for being here today. I will respond to questions, comments, concerns after I post the video. I'm going to take one last dip here in the pool, and then we're going to finish up putting the screens on the window. So we're just cleaning those off, and now they're drying out in the sun. Things dry out here almost instantly out here in the desert. And I'll be putting the screens up. I know I'm a couple of weeks late. It's already been up now into the 110s, but I'm like, that helps to save on the AC bill. Let's put the screens up today. So did a bunch of the old honeydew projects today. I will finish up putting those screens up as I exit the pool, and I end the Sunday Fun Day live video. So it's been great talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday. Normally I don't walk out of the pool so gingerly, but of course I do not want to get my phone wet and or ruined. That'll do it as my ducky temperature guide floats in the water behind me. I will catch you tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday. Thanks for being here today. Over and out as the sun is setting behind me now in the mountains. Bye-bye.